We want to keep our cost of electricity as low as we can while providing the best class of service we can. So anything we can analyze to either improve service or lower cost or make things easier for employees, we want to use that. But we had different islands of technology. We had UPN, SEDC, we had SCADA system, we had meter readers, which evolved into AMI, and we had all different pools, but they did not all communicate with each other. So SEDC recently has enabled us to pull all of this information into one source through data analytics, and that's been the key to really giving us the tool we needed for what we need to do. Some efficiency is more effective than other. I would say that we could gain certain efficiencies that might not have as major effect as others. And that's why we have to prioritize where we are. Co-ops have unlimited opportunities for efficiencies now that they did not have in the past, that a lot of people don't realize with some simple type analytics what they can find that were just impossible to find several years ago.
75 cents out of every dollar we bring in goes out to buy more power. So if we can impact that just a little bit, it makes a huge impact across the board. So obviously, the biggest bang for your buck is in your line losses.
In electric co-op, most of the cost goes to the wholesale power bill. So you have to concentrate on that first to get your wholesale power cost as low as you can. Well, once you move beyond that and start working on other items, traditionally we had the tools to work on large items and large efficiencies. With data analytics through SEDC now, we can zero in on intermediate and smaller places to gain efficiencies that we did not have the ability to work on before.
The math is simple. It's just the volume is overwhelming. We've questioned why we couldn't add up our consumption at different levels or intervals out in the field and compare that against what we're billed for. And obviously the difference would be losses. So it sounds really simple, but it has taken us several years to get things in motion, and actually now that we have a tool that is capable of doing this, and we have the resources out in the field, a new AMI system, we have automated reclosers with metrology that we're able to capture this information with. Now we're able to bring it back, and we have a tool that can churn through all this data for us.
Some of the items that we have found, one of the first more obvious that we have is what we'd call a grow house, which would be a non-metered location that's growing marijuana. In the past, we could look at a circuit on a substation and see the losses, and we might know that out of 1,200 meters there was a problem somewhere. Well, now with the data analytics, we can narrow that down to maybe 500 houses, and then 200 houses, and then 20 to 30 houses, and then an employee simply just drives up to the neighborhood and you look at the first suspect residence, and we no longer lose money on that part. Another interesting part that we have found is basically to clean up the system, and this is new for us. Supposedly in a storm, a three-phase pole is down. And once the crew goes out and puts it back up, then they should hook up the phases back the way they are, A phase, B phase, C phase, which is the way it is in our engineering system and in our UPN and everything else. But occasionally they can get reversed. And just last week, I was talking to Ben Thomason, and they had determined that one phase had a high loss, another phase had a negative loss, meaning we're selling more off of that phase than we're buying. And sure enough, when an employee went to the location, the A phase and C phase was reversed. Efficiencies, cleaning up your system, just infinite amounts of knowledge that you can gain now that you could not see in the past.